Hello everybody. In this case, I would like to talk about the Article 31 of the CIG, which specifies the seller's delivery obligation depending on the nature of the contract. For instance, if the contract involves carriage of goods, the seller must hand over the goods to the first carrier for transmission to the buyer. So, for example, the first commentary that I found, from the PILTs, the Article 31 specifies the place and modifies the of the seller's obligation to deliver goods on the CIG, acting as a supplementary rule when the contract and its circumstances don't clarify the seller's obligation. This provision is relevant only when the Article 30 applies and doesn't address the timing of delivery, which is covered by Article 33, nor the additional rules in the Article 32. So what about the other commentaries that was given by Schlechter and Schwetzner? So here they explain that the Article 31 deals with the seller's obligation regarding the content and the place delivery. For example, the paragraph A of the Article 31 focusing on the contract involving the carriage of the goods, while the paragraph B and C covering the cases where the seller must place the goods at the buyer's disposal. And this provision is very critical for determining the seller's performance and the buyer's remedies. Another and the last commentary that would be given by Enderlein and Moscow on this article, they emphasize that the place of delivery is where the seller fulfills their delivery obligation, distinguishing between contracts involving carriage, with where delivery is made to the first carrier, and those not involving carriage, where delivery is at seller's place of business or another specified location. They note that the application of Incoterms can modify this obligation, and particularly regardless to the responsibility for export and the import licensing, and highlight that non-conforming goods still constitute delivery on the CIG, unlike under the ULIS. So the first case that I would like to share with you would be from Netherlands in the Court of Appeal of Hague, where the All Trade BV versus CM Suppliers Limited. So it happened in 2006, and in this case, the UK and the Dutch seller sued for the non-payment of delivered goods, and the jurisdictional issue was whether the delivery occurred in the UK or in the Netherlands. The Court of Appeals confirmed that according to CIG Article 31, the delivery location specified in the contract, and it determined that the place of delivery, therefore jurisdiction, as the goods were physically handed over the buyer in the UK, aligning with the Article 31's and the stipulation for identifying the place of delivery when no specific place is pretended. The second case here would be from Italian Supreme Court that happened in 2000. The parties were the Premier Steel Services versus Oscam. Here, the Italian Supreme Court ruled that the jurisdiction for the dispute between the Italian seller and the Malaysian buyer over the plant assembly and the installation contract was in Malaysia, not Italy. So the court emphasized the importance of the CIG Article 31 in determining the place of performance, underscoring that despite payment being due to Italy, the main contractual obligation, assembly, installation, and delivery were to be completed in Malaysia. And the last case that I would like to talk about today would be from Italian Supreme Court as well, where the Janssen Cosmetical Care versus Munda Alberto. So it happened in 2002, where the court determined that jurisdiction was vested in German courts because the place of performance under paragraph A of this Article 31 of the CIJ was Germany, where the goods were handed over the first carrier. So thank you for listening to me, and see you in the next videos.